No, this is really disturbing me, guys, that he's mentioning chicken skin.
Why is chicken skin disturbing, especially to someone like you?
I hear it's great. I don't eat meat.
It's delicious.
Again.
Really
It's
good.
delicious.
Well, have you guys ever heard of the Mad Queen of Madagascar?
No.
Never.
I mean, I heard it once, and it was like 5 seconds ago.
Born in 1778, Ranavalona the First, also known as Ramavo, was born to fairly common parents. Somehow, her father overheard an assassination plot against the nation's king. Her father promptly made the king aware of the plan, who then foiled the plot.
As a good citizen does.
Correct. In return, the king, Adrianum Ponmimera, rewarded Ramana. That's a really long word. They did not have last names. They did not have last names. It is a very, very long names, Adrianum Ponmimera.
I just love that anything on Fort Fritz, there's this pause before we say anyone's name.
Before we say anyone's
it's always
name.
Like, and then
we're going to offend your culture.
But it's like our best.
Hashtag I'm sorry.
Right.
There you
It's
go.
our best foot forward. We're never just like, man. It's like, okay, hang on. Accent.
Adrianum Poinamerina rewarded Ramavos, that was her name, family by betrothing her to his crown prince son and heir to his throne.
Ooh.
Radama. Ramavo, so that is the girl. So there's Radama, her husband, and Ramavo, which is the girl, was not the preferred wife of Radama and did not bear him any children.
Oh.
That's all her fault.
You know, because that's all women are, right? A uterus, you know?
thank you.
Upon Adrianumov Poinamerina's death in 1810, I apologize to that king. I apologize.
It's all right.
Adrianum Poinamerina's death.
She's been dead for 200 years. Don't be sorry.
That is a king, so it's not a she.
Him.
That
Did
is
you
him.
assume that king's gender?
I did assume that King's dead.
Yeah.
It's the A and O. It's like Latin. It's inverse from the Latin. Right?
Adrianum Poinamerina's death. Oh, that was it. That was
That's
it. I
nice.
got it.
Yeah,
I got
nailed
it. So he died in 1810. So his son, Radama, ascended to the throne, accompanied by Ramavo. Adhering to the standard customs of the position, King Radama proceeded to methodically eliminate his opponents and potential dissenters. Unfortunately, this meant several of the eliminated included members of Ramavo's family.
That's what they do.
Like out of spite.
Out of sport.
And the fact that they weren't able to have kids, this kind of added to their troubled marriage.
Oh.
Kind of awkward.
It's a lot to put onto a relationship.
It's kind of a bad issue.
Especially
to
family
have.
reunions when they're not there.
Yeah, you know, big parties where you really don't have that many invitations to send out.
Everyone forgot my birthday.
Oh, wait, they're all dead.
You know, my brother always made these get-togethers a little more lively until you fucking killed him, dude.
They're all dead now. So Ramavo ended up spending most of her time with other court ladies and socializing and drinking rum with David Griffiths and his fellow missionaries.
Oh.
Which set up a solid bond with her and the Griffiths that would help her out later. So Radama, who is the current king, her husband, died in 1828. So they married in 1810 and he died in 1828. Leaving no heir because they had no kids.
So this entire state was like in a gambit mood, right? It was
Correct. So by law, the next in line was Rakatobi, which is the son of Radama's oldest sister, was
His
the
nephew.
next in line.
Like, everyone's kind of throwing their dice in.
Exactly. However, Ramavo, who is the girl, had been plotting for years to get the crown after her husband's death, and she was going to take it.
Yes.
Ooh.
All of her socializing and connections did not go to waste. So while they were married, they had a troubling marriage, she ended up connecting and networking with other people. A high-ranking military officer named Andrea Mamba collaborated with other powerful officers to support Ramavo's claim to the throne. They hid Ramavo and one of her friends in a safe location, then secured the support of several influential power brokers, including judges and the keepers of the Sampi, which is the royal idols. The officers then rallied the army behind Ramavo, and on August 11th in 1828, she declared herself the successor to Radama
Just like that.
Like, right
Just
away.
drop the gauntlet.
Yeah.
on the
Boom.
pretense of that he himself had decreed it.
You said the Sampi, what was that again? Like idols?
Yeah, they're idols.
This kind of like spiritual invocation.
Correct.
Like we have ancestors behind us.
But they also had the army.
The current one.
Which the military, and the military is essentially the key to any like takeover of any coup. Like whoever controls the military controls.
She basically
Once
spent
again,
that whole time
terrified.
married to him, kind of sweet talking everybody to
Yeah.
really like her.
Right,
So
right.
when he died, everyone was like, well, she obviously needs to take over because they didn't have any heirs.
They're like, oh, Ramavo, you say you're the queen? You and whose army? Oh, that one? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit!
That's a nice army. That's
Okay.
a nice army.
Angela, you even mentioned, based also on the pretext that the king authorized this, right? Didn't you just say in that last sentence, like
well,
it was understood?
She said.
staged as if the king had decreed that she would be, which it really should have been his nephew.
That's
She-
fucked up.
She like propped up the body and was like,
Yep.
she could be queen now.
Weekend at Bernie's it.
Ramavo took the throne name Ranavalona, which means folded or kept aside.
Folded.
Then followed royal custom by systematically capturing and putting to death her political rivals, including Rakatobi, which was the nephew of the king, and his family and other members of Radama's family, just as he had done to her whole family. Because remember, when she married him, he killed her entire family.
The population of this country's got to be like 50 people now.
By now.
Right.
She was harboring all of this ill will and spite and revenge.
Yes. So her coronation ceremony took place on June 12th in 1829, and Ranavalona became the first female sovereign of the Kingdom of Imerna since its founding in 1540.
Jesus. 300 years later, pretty much?
Correct. This was her speech, or an excerpt from her speech at her coronation. Never say, she is only a feeble and ignorant woman. How can she rule such a vast empire? I will rule here, to the good fortune of my people and the glory of my name. I will worship no gods but those of my ancestors. The ocean shall be the boundary of my realm, and
Whoa.
I will not cede the thickness of one hair of my realm.
I've kind of heard that paraphrased before, I think.
Yep. She became the ruler and was like, listen, bitches, we're doing my shit.
How old was she when she was married in again?
So she was born in 1778 and was ruled in on 1828 or 1829.
So she was in her
coronation.
30s, probably. Late 20s.
Math. We don't do it well here.
Understood there would
But
be no
it's
math.
there.
Fort math.
So early on in her reign, Ranavalona made it clear that her country's culture and laws would remain untouched. The proclamation did not bode well for the increasing numbers of Christian missionaries that had been visiting the island for several decades. Ranavalona the first warned against outsiders' influence on her subjects. She officially banned Christianity from the island in 1835.
Goddamn right.
And her paranoia extended to all foreign invasions, specifically to the British and the French. Many foreign Christians fled, leaving their converts to face fines, imprisonment, torture, and execution. At one point, Ranavalona ordered that 15 Christian leaders dangle by ropes over a rocky ravine.
What? Jesus.
Their
Why?
ropes were then cut, sending them to meet their maker. A few thousand people were thought to have been persecuted for religious reasons under Ranavalola's rule. She didn't even stop there. One of the most popular tactics by which Ranavalona maintained order within her realm was through traditional practice of trial by the ordeal by Tangina,
Tangina?
which is
Sounds delicious.
so trial by ordeal was the ancient judicial practice by which the guilt or innocence of the accused was determined by subjecting them to a painful or at least an unpleasant, usually dangerous experience.
Ooh, like the witch trials.
Or fear
Correct.
factor.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, she's a witch. If you're a witch, then we'll try and drown you. And if you drown,
Exactly.
you're not a witch. But if you float, you're a witch.
Exactly.
So you're dying either way.
Right.
Yeah. It's the punishments.
The test was one of life or death, and the proof of innocence was survival.
Okay, so this is kind of opposite of the witch trials because if you died, Number one, you're innocent. Number two, we don't have to worry about you. You're dead.
No one's going to file any complaints.
Yeah. So this is if you're dead, we told you so. If you live, we have to then put up with you, right?
So a poison
Oh,
was
man.
extracted from the nut of the native tangina shrub and ingested, with the outcome determining innocence or guilt. If nobles or freemen were compelled to undergo the ordeal, the poison was typically administered to the accused only after dog and rooster stand-ins had already died from the poison's effects.
So they would like show how efficacious it was by.
Or like watering
Use
it
of the
down,
word.
Yeah.
right? Like the nobleman got to put it through a dog or a chicken first, and then everyone else is like, no, you got to take that shit straight. Like,
Well, I
no
think it
chaser.
was pretty much like giving it to the chicken and
To
then giving it to
show
the
that
dog
it was
to-
poisonous,
Yeah.
yes.
A little tester.
While among members of the slave class, the ordeal required them to ingest the poison themselves. The accused would be fed the poison along with 3 pieces of chicken skin.
Tasty.
If
like that.
all 3 pieces of skin were vomited up, then innocence was declared. But death or failure to regurgitate all 3 pieces of skin indicated guilt.
Jesus
And you
Christ.
gotta think, did they have a meeting and like to figure out? Okay, like 2 chicken skin? No, it should be 3 chicken skin.
Should be
Because 4
3.
would
It's
be
probably
ridiculous.
based on like some fucking old weird like fucking whatever ritual.
Right?
Yeah.
3 pieces of chicken skin.
Because you know
3
whatever
pieces of chicken
the
skin.
ancient so and so came down from the mountain with 3 chickens, and that's how many.
I mean, it
chicken
also
skins you
depends
use.
on how it was like prepared. Like if it's fried up and like
Raw
like
dog.
crackling or whatever, that shit is delicious. Nobody's gonna want to cough that back up.
Raw.
Black motorcycle driving Willie came to town one day and he told me this.
If eating chicken skin is guilty, then I don't want to be innocent.
Can I get a hallelujah?
chicken skin is really delicious.
It really is.
So this tangent ordeal was believed to represent a sort of celestial justice in which the public placed their unquestioning faith, even to the point of accepting a verdict of guilt in a case of innocence as a just but unnoble divine mystery. Residents of Madagascar could accuse one another of various crimes, including theft, in Christianity, especially witchcraft, for which the ordeal of tangina was routinely obligatory. On average, an estimated 20 to 50% of those who underwent the ordeal died.
Oh my God.
That seems low. Like I would think that everybody would like.
Oh,
just be
yeah,
like,
at least in the high
like-
70s at least.
Right.
Well, like you puke it up. That's like the whole thing. So people are probably
Okay.
like, okay, I got to get the chicken skin down, and then the poison, and then like
And then drink a lot of water.
Yeah, like,
to
get
the
this
point
shit
that
out
you,
of me right
throw
now.
up. In the 1820s, the tangina ordeal caused about 1,000 deaths annually.
Wow.
Jesus.
This average rose to around 3,000 annual deaths between 1828, which was about when she became in rule, and 1861. In 1838, it was estimated that as many as 100,000 people in Imerina died as a result of the tangina ordeal.
Just to fucking torture her own people.
Exactly, constituting roughly 20% of the population.
Holy cow.
So in a really weird, like fucked up point of view, you're actually making money on this gamble because you have 20% less of the population. So that's like, you know, food costs is going down, imports.
You're just clearing overhead.
Yeah.
Just
Right,
clearing overhead.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, that's one way to look
Fritz-
at ruling a country, I guess.
Fritz at fortfritz.com. I'm sorry. I'll take that one.
And although outlawed in 1863, the ordeal continued to be practiced secretly in Imerina and openly in other parts of the island. So discipline, obviously under Ranavalona, was brutal. And Ranavalona was known for the following punishments as well. Hanging. The guilty would face hanging for days over steep cliffs, their relatives forced to watch as the rope became frayed until it unraveled, sending the victim to a plunging death.
Like dropping some people on some rocks. She
Yep.
was into that. She was into that.
Also, boiling, burning, and burying alive.
Oh, that's the worst. I think suffocation like that.
Untold thousands of suspected criminals face these medieval methods, witnessed by friends and relatives as a warning from the Queen. Beheadings. In one well-documented instance, the Queen ordered the decapitated heads of captured French soldiers to be impaled on stakes along the beaches of the island to serve as yet another warning to the French who might be planning an invasion.
It's like Vlad the Impaler.
A classic move, though.
No,
but
yeah.
sometimes do other rulers go, oh, you did the heads on the pike thing. We all do the heads on the pike thing.
Heads on the
Come
spike.
on, get some original there.
Sacre
blah.
bleu, they did the heads on the pikes on the beach.
Or it could be like when people tie tires to a dock so that your boat bumps up against it so you don't ruin your boat.
But heads.
But heads.
Yes.
But heads.
Yeah.
Also, brutal forced labor. Often, on a whim, the Queen would unexpectedly order unrealistic construction projects using thousands of unlucky natives or captured prisoners.
Oh, Jesus.
On August 16th, 1861, Ranavalona died in her sleep. 12,000 zebu, which are like cattle, were slaughtered and their meat distributed to the people in her honor.
All right, that's
Always that.
And the official mourning period lasted 9 months.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Well, they had to eat all that zebu.
During her funeral, however, a spark accidentally ignited a nearby barrel of gunpowder to be used during the ceremony,
Shit.
causing an explosion. The fire killed a number of bystanders and destroyed 3 historic royal residences.
She actually
It
destroyed...
killed people.
She went out with a bang.
And she
Yeah,
also...
she literally went out with a bang.
That's awesome.
And during her 33-year reign, experts have estimated that between 50 to 75% of Madagascar's population met untimely deaths due to war, disease, or her barbaric and ruthless system of justice.
That is ridiculous.
50 to 75%.
impressive.
That's like only me and Mandaddy survive.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight alone.
And
Yeah.
I've always assumed that, by the way.
Well, probably.
With at least 2.5 million deaths attributed to Ranavalona I.
Holy
she has
shit.
earned the title of the world's most murderous woman ever.
That is crazy.
Holy shit.
That's not.
Well,
that's a heck
So
of a
chicken
title.
skin.